أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واذكر في الكتاب مريم إذ انتبذت من أهلها مكانا شرقيا فاتخذت من دونهم حجابا فأرسلنا إليها روحنا فتمثل لها بشرا سويا قالت إني أعوذ بالرحمن منك إن كنت تقيا قال إنما أنا رسول ربك لأهب لك غلاما زكيا قالت أنى يكون لي غلام قالت أنى يكون لي غلام ولم يمسسني بشر ولم أك بغيا قال كذلك قال ربك ولنجعله آية للناس ورحمة منا وكان أمرا قضيا فحملته فانتبذت به مكانا قصيا فانقادوا إلى جذع التي قالت يا ليتني مت قبل هذا وكنت نسيا منسيا فناداها من تحتها ألا تحزني قد جعل ربك تحتك سريا وهزي إليك بجذع التي تساقط عليك رطبا جنيا فكلي واشربي وقري عينا فكلي واشربي وقري عينا فإما ترين من البشر أحدا فقولي فقولي إني نذرت للرحمن صوما فلن أكلم اليوم إنسيا فأتت به قومها تحمله قالوا يا مريم لقد جئت شيئا فريا يا أخت هارون ما كان وما كانت أمك بغيا فأشارت إليه قالوا كيف نكلم من كان في المهد صبيا قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا وجعلني مباركا أينما كنت وأوصاني بالصلاة والزكاة ما دمت حيا وبرا بوالدتي ولم يجعلني جبارا شقيا والسلام علي يوم ولدت ويوم أموت ويوم أبعث حيا ذلك عيسى بن مريم قول الحق الذي فيه يمترون ما كان لله يتخذ من ولد سبحانه إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون وإن الله ربي وربكم فاعبدوه وهذا صراط مستقيم صدق الله العلي العظيم.
اللهم صل على محمد وآله. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن جابر بن عبد الله الأنصاري عن فاطمة الزهراء عليه السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله قال سمعت فاطمة أنها قالت دخل عليها أمير رسول الله في بعض الأيام فقال السلام عليك يا فاطمة فقلت وعليك السلام وعليك السلام قال إني أجد في بدني ضعفا فقلت له أعيدك بالله يا أبتاه من الله فقال يا فاطمة تريديني بالكساء اليماني فغذيني به فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغذيته به وسرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلاله كأنه البدر في ليلة التمعن وكماله.
اللهم صل على محمد وآله
وقال وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي قد أتيت لك فدخله معه تحت.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
فما كانت إلا طاعة ولدا بولد فقير قد أقرأ وقال السلام عليك يا أمه وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويقرض عني وتغرقات وادي. قال لي يا أمه إني أشم عنك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. قلنا من جدك تحوى فوق تحت الكساء فزنا الحدير نحو الكساء وقال السلام عليكم السلام عليكم ويختاره الله أتاكم أن يكون معكم تحت الكساء ويا شافي أمتي
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال السلام عليكم بنت رسول الله. قلت وعليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال يا فاطمة إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وعم عمي رسول الله. فكنا نحاول ولديك تحت الكتاب فأقبل الرجل نحو الكتاب وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله أتأذنني أن أكون معكم تحت الكتاب. قال له عليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصي وقريبتي صاحب لوائي قد أذنت لك فدخل علي تحت الكتاب.
اللهم صل على محمد.
ثم أتيت نحو الكتاب وقلت السلام عليك فتاه يا رسول الله قد أذنتني أن أكون معكم تحت الكتاب. قال والد السلام يا بنتي ويا قال أذنت لك فدخلت تحت الكتاب.
اللهم صل على محمد.
ولما استمعت به تحت الكتاب خطأ برسول الله بطرف الكتاب وهما أبيض من السماء. وقال اللهم إنه لا يحل بيتي وقاتتي وحامتي لحمه لحمي ودمه دمي يعلمني ما يعلمه ويحسنني ما يحسنه. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سلمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم وحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم فجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك ورضوانك علي وعليهم
اللهم صل على محمد.
وقال الله عز وجل بما خلقت السماوات ولا أرضا بحريا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئا ولا ثلجا يسير ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا في محبتي ولا قامت الذين هم تحت القبلة. فقال أمير الجنة في من تحت الكتاب. وقال عز وجل أهل بيت النبوة ومعد ورساله فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها.
صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وقال جبرائيل يا رب كان معهم فقال الله لا جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله العلي الأعلى يقول السلام عليكم بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك وعدتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت السماوات ولا أرضا بحريا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيئا ولا فلكا يسير ولا بحر يجري ولا فلك يسري إلا لأجلك محبتي ومحتاجينني أن أكون معكم تحت يا رسول الله. فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام وحي الله وقال النبي صلى الله قد أوحي إليكم يقول إنما إلى الله سبحانه وتعالى وطهركم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وقال علي يا أبي يا رسول الله يقتدي مالك المسلم من الصف الصفاف. وقال النبي والذي بعدي من أفضل النبيين فيه جمع نكال إذا نزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفتهم أولئك وستردون الله وبركوا. وقال علي والله كنا وبعد زيادنا وربنا
नहीं समझा है
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु पहुँचे वरी परी शहर मदीना तो रो दिए पहुँचे गरीब शहर मदीना तो रो दिए आबिद का दिल गमों से भराया तो रो दिए पहुँचे करीब शहर पाँव में आबले थे चले आए ठहर गए पाँव में आबले थे चले आए ठहर गए अरे रोज़ा रसूल का नजर आया तो रो दिए पहुँचे करीब शहर बैठे जमीन पे सर को झुकाए हुए ईमान और बैठे जमीन पे सर को झुकाए हुए ईमान और साया किया किसी रिदा का तो रो दिए पहुँचे करीब शहर अब्बास की वफा का शुजाअत का जिक्र था अब्बास की वफा का शुजाअत
का जिक्र था, बेटे ने आके बाप को पूछा तो रो दिए। पहुंचे करीब उम्मुल बनी को बेटे का पुरसा दिया, मगर उम्मुल बनी को बेटे का पुरसा दिया, मगर सुहरा को दे सके ना दिलासा तो रो दिए। पहुंचे करीब शहर, रुदाद कर बला सुनाया कि ये ईमान, रुदाद करबला की सुनाया कि ये ईमान, जब जिक्र शहर शाम का आया तो रो दिए। पहुंचे करीब शहर मदीना तो रो दिए। आबिद का दिल भराया तो रो दिए। पहुंचे करीब जिस दम हसन का जहर से टुकड़े जिगर हुआ, सिपारा दिल गाहों से रोज़ा भर का चुरूए पार पे ज़ाहिर असर उस इमाम पाक का इस दम रात पे फतवार शिकम में गलत कलेजा दश्त के अंदर निकल कर कलेजा दश्त के अंदर निकल दौड़ी जनाबे ज़ैनबे बेकस पर है नपा, देखा के लौटते हैं बिछोने पे मोतबा, बोलिए सर को पीटे वो गम की मौत। अरे है बहन निसार हो भाई ये क्या हुआ, है बहन निसार हो भाई ये क्या हुआ। क्या फिर किसी ने जहर दवा से पिला दिया, मेरे कलेजे पे खंजर
संके बुलाओ हुसैन, अरे धम पदम ये हुक्म के लाओ हुसैन, अरे भाई का हाल जार सुनाओ हुसैन, टुकड़े मेरे जिगर के दिखाओ हुसैन, टुकड़े मेरे जिगर के दिखाओ हुसैन, अरे कह दो कि जल्दी आइए रहलत आइए कुछ आके वसीयत का बात सुन जाइए, कुछ आके वसीयत का बात आए हुसैन इतने में बाजश में अश्कबा चिल्लाते थे कि आपकी गुर्बत पे मैं शब्बर गले को चूम के कहते थे अरे मैं तुम पे सकते मेरे नाना के यार, मैं तुम पे सकते मेरे नाना के यार, मुझसे ज्यादा जुल्म सितम तुम पे हो, कब्र में तुम्हारी मुसीबत पे रोएंगे, हम कब्र में तुम्हारी मुसीबत पे रोएंगे, भैया तुम्हारी गोद में निकलेगा मेरा, अरे तुम दोगे हमको पुछलो कब जब मरेगा, होगा तुम्हारे पास ना कोई वजह, अरे कातिल तिराने होएगा या खंजरे, कातिल तिराने होएगा या शब्बर तो बाद मर्ग भी राहत में सोएगा, लाशा तुम्हारा घोड़ों से पामाल होएगा, हरे लाशा तुम्हारा घोड़ों से पामाल होएगा, डरते जिगर से खश हुए शाहे फलक चला, अरे तुम भी तो थे हुसैन हुआ और तेरा, अरे हासिल थी रूह अहमदो जहरा, अरे आसमां पे हो गए बागे जिना के आसमां पे हो गए अरे सर पीठों मोमिनों के सजा कर गए, बिन भाई के हुसैन हुए मर गए, बिन भाई के हुसैन हुए मर गए, जिस दमदसन का जहर से टुकड़े जिगर हुआ। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। अल्लाहुम्मा इन्नी अस्अलुका व अतवस्सलु इलैका बिनबिय्यिका नबिyyir रहमा محمد صلى الله عليه وآله يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيحة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها القاسم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى حفظا يا رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا بني الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الحاج النقي ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وسي القسم والخلف القدة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم عمتي وعزتي يوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعتم بكم إلى الله فاشفعوني عند الله واستغفروني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله تكون عند الله رجائي يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء على الظالمين من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين.
اللهم صل على محمد. Just a quick announcement. Inshallah, our next majlis here is coming Saturday. It's for the youth majlis that we do for the first year here. First graduate does a youth majlis. So please join us this Saturday at 3 p.m. We'd like all the parents to come also and encourage our kids for the signing, inshallah. I'm honored with the Wali to be here as well for that majlis. We are honored to have you today as well. So, inshallah, to speak. And our next majlis after Saturday will be next Thursday. It'll be the last majlis for this season. The 7th of the Awal, Shahadat Muhammad Askari alayhi salam. And that majlis will be set by Mawlana Asad Jafar, inshallah.
Online.
Yeah, that'll be later on 90 days. Salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين وسيما بقية الله في السماوات والأرضين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدم الفداء أما بعد فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه المكرم الفرقان العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصالحين جمع الصلوات
اللهم صل على محمد.
Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. During this time I'm here, inshallah, I'm just going to translate a hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu that explains the lifestyles of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's a very beautiful conversation between Imam Ali and Imam Hussein alayhi salam. And I believe we need definitely these things in our life, because sometimes we come to the majlis and we say the things that the people already know about it. So when the people already know, I know the people come for the honor of masjid, majlis, or masjid, but it's not going to help them, especially our new generation, our youth. They want to learn something. They want to learn something and they can use it for their life at this moment in America. So we should not think that we live 100 years ago. We have to, that's why Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam says, raise your children according to the time. Like I remember back in the days when someone was knocking the door, when my mother was like trying to talk behind the door, she was talking like this, who is this? Because she was changing her voice. But now if you do that, the people will laugh at you. Because now the time is different. The hijab of that time was different. The way of talking with your husband and wife was different. The way of the relationship with family member, children, everything is different. But despite all these things, our Imam alayhi salatu wasalam's lifestyle is used for all generations. That's the thing that we learn from Ahimmeh and Har alayhi salam. Because Ahimmeh and Har alayhi salawatullah lives Islamically. They don't live culturally. Most of us, we live according to the culture. We live according to our country's culture. Look at the marriages. I don't see a lot of marriages right now to be Islamic marriage. Most of them, they follow their culture. They have a kind of cultures for the night of the wedding, the night before wedding, the night after wedding, engagement, everything. But we don't have any of these in Islam. But our Imams, was living a lifestyle that can give benefit for every generation until the day of judgment. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, إِنِّي تَارِكٌ فِيكُمُ الثِّقْلَيْنِ كِتَابَ اللَّهِ وَعِتَرَةِ. I will leave two valuable things behind. Number one, Quran. Number two, Ahlul. And he says, مَا إِن تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِمَا لَن تَضِلُّوا أَبَدًا إِلَى يَوْمِ الْقِيَامَةِ. If you stay with Ahlul Bayt of the Quran, you will never lose until the day of judgment. So this is a beautiful conversation that I don't want to waste your time. I'm just going to go straight to the hadith. And if possible, please, when you go home, just listen one more time to this hadith. I myself look at this hadith at least once a week. Even I translated this many, many times in many majalis. But still, every Friday morning, I look at this hadith. I just look at it. I just want to make sure, is my life is correct or no? Is my behavior to my wife is Islamic or no? Is my behavior with my children is Islamic or no? Am I accepted by Rasulullah? I'm just going to look at this hadith. Very important. You know, Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam is the only person that he spent 30 years of his life with Rasulullah. 30 years, Amir al-Mu'minin, days and nights, lives with Rasulullah. So he has the most information about Rasulullah more than anybody else. No one has this information. No one has information enough about Rasulullah except Amir al-Mu'minin. Because Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salatu wasalam was raised with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls him nafs, the self. He is the self of Rasulullah. Wa anfusana wa anfusana. So Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam sits down in front of Amir al-Mu'minin and says, Ya Abata, akhbirni an jaddi Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That means, tell me about my grandfather Rasulullah. And then he says, akhbirni an madkhalihi, wa akhbirni an makhrajihi, wa akhbirni an majlisihi. What is it? First, he asks Amir al-Mu'minin, tell me about my grandfather. How was his life at home? At home? How was his life at home? It's very important. We all need that, brothers and sisters, because last year, unfortunately, I received a lot of calls. It was a problem between husband and wives, a lot of divorce. That's so sad when I see them they get divorced from each other. And when you look up to the reasons, you see there's not a big deal reason. It's not a big deal. But they just fight for small things. And that selfishness that is not supposed to be with movement that makes them get divorced. So Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wasalam says Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam divided his life into the three parts. جزءا لله جزءا لأهله وجزءا لنفسه. That means his life at home. I sometimes see some people, as soon as they come home, they take the phone, they go to the computer. They don't even talk to their wives. They don't even talk to their children. Everything is home. My friend, you're home right now. You're not at work. You don't have to be on the phone all the time. You're just waiting for the likes and comments to answer right away. I'm right against this technology right now that's going on around people, unfortunately. I'm against this technology because this technology is actually making people separated instead of making them together. Back in the days, we were actually, when we were having lunch, everybody was waiting for each other. Nobody was eating lunch alone. Nobody was eating dinner alone. But now it's not like that. Everyone has a sandwich, walking. These things are not good. These are not Islamic. For the food, we have a book written by Allama Majlisi Rahmatullahi alayhi. That's called Hidayatul Muttaqin. It teaches you how to eat, when to eat, what to do after eating, how to sit down. These are all the hadith. Men's job, women's job, everything is written over there. Inshallah, maybe I find that book, inshallah, one day, maybe I'll buy like some of them, or at least maybe online. You can actually translate it in English and read it, because we really need it. So Rasulullah was not like that, just admit that. Part of his life was for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some of us, unfortunately, we're not that close with Allah. We just pray and that's it. But we don't have a time to talk to Allah, especially at night time. The namaz al-tahajjud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he talks to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he says, if you want to get to the highest level of spirituality, you see the key for highest level of spirituality is namaz al-tahajjud. It's written in ayah of Quran, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَحَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. Ayah of Quran. That means if you want to raise and get to the highest level of spirituality, do the namaz al-sham. Very easy. It's 11 rakah. Some people come to me and say, I cannot do it because tomorrow morning I have to go work. I said, do it before you go to sleep. Do it before you go to sleep. He says, I'm tired, I cannot do it regularly. Do it while you're sitting down. Do it while you're driving. It's mustahab. I remember in home, I was praying behind, I thought that was my bahjat. He was a very, very spiritual man. He was a different man. I remember one day, I was 22, 23 years old when I was there. I had a question. It was very hard to make an appointment with him, but one of my close friends made an appointment, and they said, everyone should ask one question for my life as my bahjat. And I was sitting right on the corner. He looked at me and he answered my question. I couldn't even believe it. I have nothing to say. And same thing happened to all my friends. And we didn't even get a chance to ask the question. So we have those people. Even now we have it. Even now we have those people that they are connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one of Allama Qazi Rahmatullahi alayhi says, he says, if you want to get to that level, get connected to Allah, keep namaz al-sham. Do it, no matter how you do it, but do it. I remember I saw Ayatollah with my bahjat, he was doing the nafila for namaz asr, for the evening, for the afternoon. And I was confused, so when this gentleman is so muqayyad on doing the mustahabbat nafila, when is he doing the nafila for Zuhr prayer? It was a question. Many days I was thinking about it. And then I asked one of his bodyguards, and I said, what does he pray the nafila Zuhr? Because I see him, he's doing the nafila asr. He said he's doing the nafila Zuhr in the car. Sitting and he's doing it. So the good part with our religion is that the nafila, you can do it even you walk. Even you're in the car, even you're walking. Sometimes you really don't want to do that regularly, but at least while you're walking, do it. Don't miss this opportunity. Namaz al-sham is exactly like that. No matter now you go home and you feel like you cannot make up early in the morning for the middle of the night, do it now. But this, you will see the differences in your life as the spirituality level will change. And tomorrow when you wake up, then if someone is doing ghibah, you're not going to enjoy listening to that.
Subhanallah.
Believe me, if you enjoy some people, I'm sure inshallah we don't have. If we have people around us that they enjoy listening to the ghibah, that means there is something wrong with it. They have to look for it. treatment. It's just like a doctor. If something happened to us, I call doctor with a heart, doctor will say, doctor said, because we feel something is wrong, right? But the spirituality, we don't know. Spiritually, we don't know. These are the signs. If we look at something haram and we like it, there is something wrong. We must look for the treatment. If we talk with non-mahram and you see the differences in you, there is something. You must build up this spirituality level. And the key is this one, namaz al-shab. You know, our imams, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly explains that the reason to get to the highest level, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَحَجَّتْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. Maqam Mahmud is the highest level. What gets you to that level? Namaz. That's it. Very easy. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was waking up at the middle of the night. And he was talking to Allah. He was saying, Ya Allah, there are some sins that I didn't commit yet. There are a lot of sins that Rasulullah is teaching us, you know. He was actually, his amal, his deed is teaching. It's not something that he's saying for himself because he's ma'asum, but he's teaching us how to talk to Allah. He says, Ya Allah, please don't let me to commit those sins that I didn't commit yet. There are some sins. Like for example, drinking, alhamdulillah, doing something haram. We never did it, alhamdulillah, and we will never do it. But still, we need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the tawfiq. One of my friends, he was very, very close to me. And he was one of the ulama in Mashhad. He was one of the most famous qaris. He was always number one every competition. But unfortunately, he traveled to one of the European countries. And now he's a singer. He was the person that he was always waking up in the middle of the night praying to Allah. But the problem is some people think that they always stay the same. Shaitan, we don't know. Sometimes some people are like a poison. Last week, it was like 10 days ago, I was receiving a call. One of the parents told me, I don't know when my children go to that person's house, they come out with different character. I talk to them a lot, they pray on time, they do good religious things, everything nicely. But once they go there and they come back, they're a different person. Please, talk to my children, answer their questions. That's why we have the hadith that staying with ulama is ibadah. Going to masjid is ibadah because you learn something. We pay a lot for our children for their everything, their cars, their university and everything. But sometimes something is silent killer. You know, we have something that's called silent killer. Same thing with our body, we have same thing with our spirit. Some people with a beautiful smile, with beautiful treatment, they are like a poison. We have to find our children, where are they going? Who are they talking to right now? What they are saying. You have to have control on them. But the control and observing must be nicely, must be very smart, not the way that they think that we are checking on them all the time. No, they should be controlled, especially with these people that are around, especially like, you know, the Wahhabiyah. Now in many universities, you don't know what's going on. Nowadays, the kids come back from university or this, like our youth, they come, they say, you know what? What's the difference between Ahlul Bayt and those people? They're all same thing. They're all the companion of the Prophet. They're all good. They're all confirmed. But when we come to this level, we must be worried about our children because our children are losing their faith. There's something wrong. We must teach them the right knowledge. We must arm them with a good weapon of knowledge. They can defend from themselves all the time. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, their part of his life was ibadat with Allah. وَجُزْءًا لِأَهْلِهِ. Part of his life was for his wife and his children. One day Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sees someone going to home. He says, where are you going? This man says, I'm going home. I've finished work, I'm going home. Rasulullah says, why are you going like this? With this dirty clothes, you're going home and see your wife? He said, what you say? Ya Rasulullah, this is my job. He said, no. Rasulullah, he said, very good. Look at my car. Now I have 2-3 clothes in my car. I never go home with my working clothes. Because at work, we're different. You 3-4 perfumers in my car. You can do some good chicken. Because we know the hadith, because there's Rasulullah's hadith that never meet your family the way that you're outside at work. So Rasulullah says, always have an extra clothes with you, and when you go home, before that, wash your face, wash your hands, clean yourself, wear your new clothes, and see your wife. But a lot of us, we don't know, we don't even know these things, and we don't do that. The other day, one day, I'm just gonna go one by one, the stories that happened to Rasulullah, so we see them. You know, our beard gets white. It's not a problem, everyone gets old. Rasulullah sees someone that his beard is white. He says, why don't you color your beard? He says, what's wrong with this, Ya Rasulullah? Rasulullah says, you just look a little old like this. So, but Rasulullah says, this is nur. Hadihi nur. This is nur. That means this is a light. It's okay. Then he went and came back. And he colored his beard. And he sees Rasulullah next time. And this time Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, هذه نور وإيمان وإسلام. Now, add his 3 things. Now is Nur, Iman, and Islam. Why? Because now people look at you and they are scared that you're young, so they don't attack with Islam. It's Nur, and also it's Iman, because the movement always should look good. This is something that we learn from Rasulullah. But Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wasalam was working in the street with a beautiful clothes, good smell. One of his companions asked, where are you going, Ya Rasulullah? Imam alayhi salam says, I'm going to see my wife. I'm going back home to see my wife. One of the problem nowadays is this, that Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says, Bani Israel, one of the things that they did was this, that they were not looking good in front of their wives. That's why that happened. So this is an advice of Imam. Rasulullah was teaching us exactly like that. So Rasulullah's life, the second part of life of Rasulullah was his behavior with his wife and his children. He was very careful about it. So we have the hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was spending most of his money on perfume. Most of his money was not spent on the clothes, on perfume. And we have the hadith that whoever was passing the street, they would know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was already there, because Rasulullah always smells good. So mu'min Muslim should be exactly like that. This makes a lot of changes in the life. And if you say these things to American people, they will like it, because as I said, Rasulullah's life is for every generation, for everyone, Muslim, non-Muslim. Everyone likes his treatment with his wife and his children. So this is another part. But it's not only for men. Sometimes the women were complaining that, Ya Rasulullah, what about us? So the women actually protested something like that. They stood in masjid and they made a leader, Asma bint Uwais, alayha salam, and they said, Asma, now go to the Prophet and say, like, what about us? Like, you always talk about the jihad, man. You know, the ayat of Quran is always about man. It's not, it doesn't mean that Allah is talking to the man. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kutiba alaykum as-siyam. Alaykum is for men. Like the fast is obligated. But it doesn't mean that it's only obligated on men. It's obligated on men. Because in Arabic, usually when they talk, they use the adjective for men, not for women. This is the language. It's not about what Allah says. But here, the women complained and they said to the Prophet, what about us? And the Prophet ﷺ says to Asma bint Uwais, no. Your good treatment with your husband at home is also jihad. When you make your husband happy at home, when the husband is tired, the husband is coming back from work, you just have a good treatment, you just smile, you just nice to the children. You do your job at home nicely, this is also jihad. This is clear. Now, another part was just al-nafsi. Rasulullah had some time for himself too. You know, like sometimes you need your private. You just to stay home alone with yourself. You don't want even, you want to relax. Sometimes I get tired after classes, I want to lie down and I just want to be with myself for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So Rasulullah was dividing his life at home like this. Juz'an lillah, juz'an li ahli, juz'an li nafsi. For himself, for family, for Allah. What about outside? This is also important. Now, a lot of people look good at home, but they don't look good outside. Outside, nobody likes them. Some people are opposites. They look good outside, but they're not good at home. They always look good akhlaq and everything outside. Everybody think, wow, mashallah, this gentleman is so good with good akhlaq. But at home, he doesn't even talk to his wife and his children. No, Rasulullah was not like that. Then Imam alayhi salatu wasalam asked a question. Tell me about outside. How is his character outside? Number one, Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam says, كان دائم البشر. He was always smiling. Rasulullah was always smiling. When you would look at him, you would feel like he's smiling at you. So a smiley face is also a ni'mah. I remember one of the doctors told me many years ago, he said, if you smile, your skin gets wrinkled a little bit late. He told me, like, he said, this knowledge now, the present knowledge confirms that once you're happy, your skin doesn't get wrinkled. Or if they get wrinkled, at least they will get wrinkled late, not in the age of 30, 40, and things like that. So the people who smile a lot, they get old late. And now we see that the people who are happy, they have a better life and healthier life. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, kana da'im al-bush. He was always smiling to people. He was never mad. He was never like this. He was always smiling. But in our culture, if we smile, then we think that the other people will take advantage. So we try to be a little more serious. That's that when I talk to my students, and everybody, they're so comfortable with me. I never like this with them. I'm like a friend with them. A teacher should be like a friend with the student. If the teacher is like this, then the class will be boring. So that's why our ulama, they always smile. When you see them, they always smile. They always talk to you nicely. Especially when they see a kid, like a kid, when they see a kid, they're so friendly with the kids. Our biggest ulama, our biggest maraja. Why? Because they know this, that Rasulullah kana da'im al-bushra. He was always smiling. One day someone came to the masjid And Rasulullah was talking about giving infaq, giving sadaqah. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, I don't have money. How am I going to get the same sawab? I don't have money to donate, but I still want to get the same sawab. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "At-tabassum ila al-wajhi min as-sadaqah." When you smile at your mu'min brother, it's sadaqah. Allah give you the same sawab. You don't have money to donate, at least be nice. It's a very important and teachable thing from Rasulullah. And we have to learn this. Calm down. From today, at least at home, we can start from home. I know for sometimes it's going to be a little bit hard for us because we are actually trying to be serious all the time. But believe me, with a smile, a lot of things, good things will happen to your life, to your work, and everything around yourself, and your community, and everything. Number two, Sahal al-Khul. That means he was always taking it easy. You know, in America, there is a good saying, when they see it, they say, take it easy. You know, this take it easy is something Islamic. That means Rasulullah was like that. He was always taking it easy. Everything. IZFNA Malik says in the month of Ramadan, some nights Rasulullah was invited by some companions. They were taking him for food, for iftar. But sometimes Rasulullah was taking a little longer in the masjid, longer time to answer the questions. IZFNA Malik says like one, you know, back in the days, it wasn't like now, like mashallah, there's a lot of food now in America. We have different kind of food, but even in our time that I remember, we had food, not a lot. Like my mother used to tell us, like, this is your food, that's it. We didn't have extra to put in the fridge. There was no fridge. In our time, there was no fridge. Like I'm talking about 30 years ago, maybe 28 years ago, we didn't have any fridge. So we had the food, same day we were finishing it. Just like that time was exactly like that. They were not making a lot of food. So they were making food for each person. Like 5 people, they were making food for 5 people. So IZFNA Malik said, we had the food of the Prophet on the side, but he came a little late. We didn't know that he's gonna come. So Anas says, I was hungry, it was the month of Ramadan. I ate all the food. And Rasulullah comes. Where were you, Rasulullah? We were waiting for you for a long time, but you didn't come. Rasulullah says, yes, because in masjid somebody was asking me a question that took a little longer. But I'm sorry, I already ate your food. You know what does Rasulullah do? If it was somebody else, excuse me, why did you touch my food? It was my food. I was hungry. I was, that those days was different. Fasting, it's like some countries, like in Pakistan, I remember one year I was in Pakistan with the month of Ramadan, it was really, really hard to fast because it was very hard. There was no electricity. When the electricity was, everyone was coming to the street and walking because we couldn't even stay at home. Why? Because of the heat. And those people, when they fast in India and Pakistan and Karbala and Iraq, there's a lot of extra sawab that they receive because they get thirsty fast, like in the hot weather. When the weather is about 190, 95, you get thirsty in every hour. You really want to drink water. But imagine in Medina, back in the days, it was exactly like this. So it's very hard to fast. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says to IZFNA Malik, okay, you ate my food, it's fine, no problem. Just give me a little bit of water, and Rasulullah drinks some water and sleeps. So this is a very teachable treatment. And sometimes it happens in our life. We order, for example, a pizza or something for ourselves, and somebody else eats it. So we put it on the fridge, okay, it happened to me one time. Very delicious food, and I put it on the fridge. I said, let me pray my namaz and everything, then I'm going to eat it. Until I came back, my daughter already ate it. I said, Allah give you this, mashallah, no problem. So I ate something else. So we have to be like that. Layyinul janib. Layyin is soft. soft treatment. You know, sometimes we can talk, something is not haram in Islam, but if we do it, it's not good. For example, one of them is talking loud to the people. Like if you talk loud with someone, it's not haram. But in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do not talk loud. لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. Talking loud is not good, even if it's not haram. So layyin means soft. Like when you talk with someone, talk with soft spoken manner or soft manner. Are we at that level? So our Prophet was like this. Even when he was getting mad, he was not responding with angry face. He was always talking with soft spoken manner. This is another quality of Rasulullah. And ليس بفضل. بفضل means like, that means he was never serious on something. You know, like sometimes we take it so serious, but Rasulullah was not like that. If something was happening, what happened. Just like Imam Musa, he had a son. He loved his son so much. That son, the brother of Imam al-Wali, he loved him so much. He got sick. He was 7, 8 years old. So he got sick. Imam was so worried about him. When he died, they look at Imam. Oh my God, what now if we say to Imam that your son died, what he's going to do? He's going to get really sad and depressed and mad. Imam, as soon as he finds out that his son died, he said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Because then they ask him a question, Ya Rasulullah, why before you were running this way, that way to find the doctor and everything? Imam says, yes, that time I was trying my best to keep him alive. But now Allah wants to take him from me. I prefer the desire of Allah to myself. This is the response of Imam Musa. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was exactly like that. That's why he was never getting things serious. One of the things actually that makes our life harder is thinking that it shouldn't be any problem. It's not going to happen. Every life, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. That means insan is created with hardship. Allah does not want you to be attached, especially if you're a mu'min. Allah doesn't want you to be attached to dunya. If someone is not mu'min, Allah makes his life in dunya good. That's why they don't want to die. You know, the people that they commit sin, they don't want to die because they love the dunya. They're looking for the haram all the time. They go around, they enjoy every moment from the haram. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ. Allah leave them alone. So they enjoy their life here and they will pay for it when they die. But mu'min, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam says, Ad-dunya sijnul mu'min. Sijin means jail. Alayhi salam says, your dunya mu'min is like a jail. Don't think you don't have a problem. You will have a problem. Every single day, especially, you want everything to be Islamically according to the Quran narrations. So it's hard for you. So it gives you stress. So this is not a big deal to have a problem. The thing is, fighting with these problems are very important. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. If you submit yourself to Allah, then Allah will take care of you. So if you have a problem in your life, just be patient. Different problems will come. I know it's hard. For all of us it's hard. But we should look at these things with a good view. It's like if you don't get sick, like one of the brothers said to me in Philadelphia, he said, I had a very bad headache. He said, why do I have a headache? And he said, like, My wife said to me, go to the hospital, maybe there's something wrong. He said, I went to the doctor, to the hospital. And at the hospital, they checked my blood pressure, it was about 200. And the doctor said, wow, good you came here, so we give you something to put under your tongue and you got better. If you would stay home, you could die. So that headache was khair for him. You know, sometimes we get sick. Like those people that they got sick, they know the price of health. Now they're more careful. They're careful with their eating, they're careful with their diet, with their exercise, and everything, because it was a warning. And then here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. The problem is there. But what should you do? You should be just patient and fight with it. Fight with the problems. If you fight with the problems, what will happen? أُولَٰئِكَ عَلَيْهِمْ صَلَوَاتٌ مِّن رَبِّهِمْ وَرَحْمَةٌ. Allah will shower His blessings upon you. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُهْتَدُونَ. So Allah wants to take you to the better place. That's why if your life is here good, so you don't want to move. It's like you have a beautiful house, you really don't want to go to the old house. If you have a beautiful brand new car, you don't want to change it with an old car. So our akhirat is more important. That's why someone came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hopefully, I have a lot of things still. Hopefully, our time is not over. Just want to be sure. Inshallah, I try to finish it soon. Inshallah. So he said, Ya Rasulullah, I am so scared of death. I don't want to die. He says, are you wealthy? Are you rich? He says, yes, Ya Rasulullah, I'm so rich. And then Rasulullah asked another question. Do you donate of what Allah gave it to you? He says, no, Ya Rasulullah. I'm not donating anything. But I said to my children, when I die, because I love money so much, when I die, donate on my behalf. Rasulullah said, no, it's not going to work. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam divides a date into the 4 parts, and he takes one of them and shows it to him. He shows it to him, and he says, "If you donate this with your own hand, it's better than this mountain Abu Qubays, full of gold, donated by your children. So do it now when you're alive. That's why you're scared of death. That's why you don't want to die." So it's another quality of Rasulullah. La ayyab wa la maddah. He was not looking for people's mistakes. Like some people are looking around to see who is having problem. He's looking for the problems and mistakes of people. Everyone has a mistake. Everyone has a problem. Every family has a problem, family problem, things like that. So mu'min should not look at these things. Most of the time we should close our eyes on many things. We're not allowed to go to the details of the people's life. Wala maddah. Are we not allowed to talk about someone so much and say, mashallah, you're a good person? For example, now in Baiti Waliyas, all of you are working. So it's not good that I mention only one name here. And I say, mashallah, that brother is working more than everybody, mashallah. It's not good. Because everyone is working. You coming with your presence, you're helping Imam Zaman. The person who's cleaning, he's also helping Imam Zaman. The person who is helping with the tent, he's also, everyone is equal in this house. So I'm not allowed to make people hire like special speech about one person. So Rasulullah was not like that. He was not maddah. And also, la yadumma abada. Rasulullah was not punishing people as well. One day, it was the jama'at, it was the namaz, everyone was praying, and a young man, when he was praying, he was also talking. Everyone got mad at him. They came to the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, we couldn't even pray because he was talking. When he was praying, he was talking. Tell him something. Tell him next time, don't come to the masjid because he's ruining our namaz. Rasulullah calls him. He said, come to me. He says, As-salat, dhikrun, wa Qur'an, wa da'at. So Rasulullah indirectly tells him that you're wrong. That means in your namaz, only dua, Quran, and dhikr. That's it. These three things. Don't say anything extra. Don't talk about something else in your namaz. And he says, I'm so sorry, Ya Rasulullah, I didn't know that. So Rasulullah teaches him like this. Okay, then Imam alayhi salatu wasalam says in the last question, أخبرني عن مجلسه. When he was sitting with people, how was his majlis? Then Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam says, مجلسه حلم وحياء وصدق وأمانة. Majlis Imam alayhi salam is hilm. Hilm is sabr, patience. He was always patient. Haya, with very modest haya. Sit honestly, wa amanatan, and trustworthy. This is the majlis of Rasulullah. That means when you work with someone in the business, outside, when you want to have a business with someone, you need to have these four qualities. Hilm, patience, haya, respecting each other, don't raise on each other, sit, honesty, amana, trustworthy. These four things are the qualities of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inshallah, tonight when you go back home, inshallah, try to listen again to this hadith because Kalam Imam alayhi salam is new. And try to see how many of them are being practiced by you in your life. And if you don't have all of them, at least half of them will change a lot of things in your life. So tonight is also the night of Shahadat of Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam. I was actually looking at one of the books that was explaining the moment that Imam alayhi salatu wasalam became shaheed. I was not controlling, I couldn't control my crying because of one thing, that the wife cannot be like this. And the man is Imam Hassan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam, and Imam has been so nice with Ja'da. Ja'da's father lived with Imam Hassan for many, many years. And Imam was so nice to his family, to Ja'da's family, to father-in-law's family, everyone. But Imam sees that when Imam was dying, they were clapping, they were happy. That's so painful. That's why Hazrat Zahra sallallahu alayha says a dream to one of the Rawza Khan and says, why don't you even talk about my son Hassan? Assalamu alayka ya Hassan ibn Ali. Ya ibn Rasulullah, ya hujjat Allah ala khalqi. يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. That day Imam Hassan alayhi salam was fasting. At that hot weather, Imam alayhi salatu salam was trying to break his fast. He says to Ja'da, Ja'da, bring me some water. La ilaha illallah. When Muawiyah gave the poison to Ja'da, he said, put only a little bit of this poison. But Ja'da la'natullahi alayha puts all the poison in the cup and she puts the honey and makes it ready for Imam Hassan. La ilaha illallah. In the history, we see this. First, when Ja'ada gave this to Imam Hassan alayhi salam, she smiled at Imam. Imam smiled at La ilaha illallah. A few minutes later, when Imam alayhi salam drinks this water or this juice, Imam starts chewing up and Imam feels the pain. Imam alayhi salam is in very bad condition. And Imam is looking at Ja'da, La ilaha illallah. I'm sorry, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, Ya Imam Zaman. Ja'da, instead of helping Imam Hassan, she was laughing, clapping, and she was screaming so happily. And she says, wow, this is the best time of my life. La ilaha illallah, ya ibn Rasulullah, ya Hassan ibn Ali. How nice you are with your wife, with this wife, that she knows that you are dying. And what is the treatment of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam? Imam alayhi salam says, Ja'ada, I want you to leave here very soon. Why? Because Bani Hashim is coming and will kill you, and they will take revenge from you. La ilaha illallah. This is the treatment of our Imam with their enemies. Suddenly, Imam alayhi salam looks to one of his slaves and he says, go and call my sister Zainab. La ilaha illallah. Zainab salamullahi alayha was informed, your brother Hassan is dying, come and see him, he is in his last moment. Zainab salamullahi alayha comes and sees the brother Hassan alayhi salam that leaving this dunya. Zainab salamullahi alayha starts screaming until she faints. La ilaha illallah. I have something to say here to Zainab. Zainab, here Bani Hashim, everyone was around you. They were helping you. Nobody disrespected you. Everyone was hugging you. Everyone was giving you condolences. La ilaha illallah. La yawm ka yawmaka ya Aba Abdullah. One day Zainab salamullahi alayha comes across with another brother's body. This brother Hussein does not have a head in his body. La ilaha illallah. Zainab salamullahi alayha here also could not control herself. She fainted on the body of Hussein. But here the treatment of the people around was a bit different. La ilaha illallah, ya Sadat, ya Imam Zaman, please forgive me. When they were trying to separate Zainab from Hussein, all the non-mahram from different directions, they attack on Zainab, hitting her from anything they had in their hands. Zainab salamullahi alayha opens her eyes, she sees Sukaina. Ya Amma, tell me whose body is this? Why are you crying on this body? Why did you faint on this body? Zainab salamullahi alayha says, oh Sukaina, Adana Shabik al-Husayn. This is the body of your father, Hussein. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعا ويكشف السوء اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والنصر ومد في عمره واجعلنا من أنصاره وأعوانه اللهم اقض حوائجنا الشرعية جزئية وكلية دنيوية وأخروية ظاهرية وباطنية بحق محمد وآله خير البرية رحم الله لمن قرأ الفاتحة مع الإخلاص والصلاة.
اللهم صل على محمد.
Hussein, Hussein.
रो रो बैन सुनावत है आजा रे असवर 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 रो रो बैन सुनावत है आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर माने अभी सब ने देखा तू है बहुत प्यासा है बेटा माने अभी सब ने देखा तू है बहुत प्यासा है बेटा मादर कोई हाथों पे अपने मादर कोई हाथों पे अपने पानी तो है पिलावत है आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर कोई खबरिया नहीं तुमरी याद नहीं आवत का हमरी कोई खबरिया नहीं तुमरी याद नहीं आवत का हमरी सोनी लहत मालोरी देकर सोनी लहत मालोरी देकर आखिर कौन सुनावत है आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर आजा रे असवर खाली चूना खाली गोदी दौलत सारी हमने खो दी खाली झोला खाली गोदी दौलत सारी हमने खो दी गोद में आजा असगर प्यारे गोद में आजा असगर प्यारे काहे नम का सतावत है आजा रे असगर आजा रे असगर आजा रे असगर आजा रे असगर
करना उंगली पकड़ कर गिरना समझना ऐ मेरे असगर तेरी कुर्बत ऐ मेरे असगर तेरी कुर्बत हमरा कलेजा की दावत है आजा असगर आजा असगर आजा असगर आजा असगर कब से खड़ी है माही दर पर अब तो चले आओ ऐ मेरे दिल पर कब से खड़ी है माही दर पर अब तो चले आओ ऐ मेरे दिल पर याद में तुम्हारी दुखिया मादर याद में तुम्हारी दुखिया मादर खाली झूला झुलावत है आजा असगर आजा असगर आजा असगर आजा असगर रो रो बैन सुनावत है
शाम जाते हुए के अस्सलाम ए बेकस बाबा एक दे सलाम मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा मैं साथ पुपी के बाबा मैं साथ पुपी के बाबा सुनाऊंगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा सलाम मेरा मेरे बड़ी एक काफिला था तेरा एक मेज सजाने पे मैं इब्ने हुसैन हुए बाबा मैं इब्ने हुसैन हुए बाबा जिनको बताऊंगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा एक रस्सी में बाबा हर बार रहे सब छोटे बड़े बाबा एक साथ बचे होंगे महफिल से गिरते बच्चों को महफिल से गिरते बच्चों को से लगाऊंगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ मैं लौट के आऊँगा दरबार सजा होगा सर मेरा रखा होगा
उस पल में सकीना को बाबा, उस पल में सकीना को बाबा संभालूंगा। मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ, मैं लौट के आऊंगा। मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ, मैं लौट के आऊंगा। पाबंद रसन यावर ये काफिला जब निकला, बीमारी ना मेरा करता रहा ये नोआ। है तेरी कसम मुझको बाबा, है तेरी कसम मुझको बाबा, मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ, मैं लौट के आऊंगा। मैं एक बेकस परदेसी हूँ, मैं लौट के आऊंगा। मैं साथ कुबी के बाबा, मैं साथ कुबी के बाबा कुरान सुनाऊंगा। से रसूले दूसरा वासने से तो कणी जिदे मुझसे कफन लाल हुआ वासने सजता
السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك حبيب الله، السلام عليك أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب عليه الصلاة والسلام، السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة النساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى عليه الصلاة والسلام، السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت في الغيب، عليك مني سلام الله أبدا وفيك وفي الليل والنهار. ولا جارك الله فرحت مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام عليكم ورحمة المسلمين. علي بن الحسين محمد بن علي وجعفر محمد موسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى محمد بن علي علي محمد الحسن بن علي. السلام عليك صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك شريك القرآن. السلام عليك خليفة الرحمن. السلام عليكم الإيمان. الأمان رجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وذكرك وجعلنا من أعوانك وأنصارك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. اللهم كن وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا حتى تسكنه وتمتعه فيها برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
रब जा पंजतने पाक का सफा इस कौम का दामन का में शबीर से भर दे। बच्चों को ताकर अली असगर का तबस्सुम, बूढ़ों को हबीब इब्न मज़ाहिर की नजर दे। कम से इनको मिलाए वल वलाए और मोहम्मद हर एक जवान को लिए अकबर का जिक्र दे। माँ को कासन ये दारा का फरीका, बहनों को सकीना की दुआओं का सर दे। मौला तुझे ज़ैनब के सीरी की कसम है बेजुर मसीरों को रिहाई की खबर दे। जो चादर ज़ैनब के दार मौला महफूज है ऐसे ख़वातीन के पर्दे। जो दीन के काम आए वो रात अता कर, जो मजलिस शब्बीर की खातिर हो कर दे। मुफलस और लाल जवाहर के बारिश मफरूज का हर कर्ज सदा गैब से कर दे। गम कोई ना दे हमको सिवाय गम शब्बीर, गम कोई ना दे हमको सिवाय गम शब्बीर। शब्बीर का गम बांट रहा है तुझे दे। नारे हैदरी दुश्मनाने शब्बीर तेरे पीर चलाना।
अमीर निसा बेगम, सैयद अली मुमताज बेगम, शाहजहां बेगम, आशिक अली आबा